When I was a kid, I remember whenever my dad cooked dinner, it was a special event. He never cooked the mundane stuff, the everyday stuff like the chicken breast or steaks or anything like that. Whenever he cooked, it meant we all were in the kitchen, we were all helping out, especially me, and it was going to be something really, really special for that night. Usually something really gourmet. And today, I'm going to make you one of those dishes. I'm going to make you Chicken Tetrazzini. It's a great, great meal that is fit for your Sunday dinner. Hello everybody and welcome to Julia's Sunday Dinners. I'm Julia and welcome to my kitchen. This week I'm going to make you a Chicken Tetrazzini. Now you can make this Tetrazzini with all different kinds of stuff. You can make it with the chicken like I'm going to do today, and you can also make it with turkey, which is what my dad used to do. You can make it with tuna fish if you want. You can make it with tofu. Make it with portobello mushrooms. This is a recipe that you can do any different amount of ways. Any kind of meat or meat substitute in it. But I want to warn you that if you want to make this a healthy dish, you can't. Because of this one ingredient. And I forgot to take it out. Whipping cream. Heavy, heavy whipping cream. You need this for this recipe. Without this, you can't do light cream, you can't do half and half, you can't do whole milk or milk of any sort. You've got to use heavy whipping cream, because if you don't, this recipe does not turn out well. So, it's one of my favorite recipes that I've had for years. And it's dairy, 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 and more dairy. So I need to be careful about it. So I don't make it all that often. But I know you're going to love it. So I'm going to start off here. I already have water boiling in back for pasta, for some spaghetti. Now this is starting to boil up, so I'm going to throw the spaghetti in there. Now what you got to do, you got to make sure you take the spaghetti. You're going to take, it's half a pound, right? Yeah, it's half a pound of spaghetti. And you want to make sure, that's about half a pound or so. Yeah, let's get a little bit more. You want to make sure that you break it at least in half, maybe into thirds, but I'm going to break it in half. And drop it right in. Okay. Now, I usually keep it on high and get a little bit of oil on top. That keeps it, thank you Elton Brown, that keeps it from boiling over, so you don't really have to pay attention to it. It creates enough surface tension to break up the bubbles that form. So I'm going to set my microwave for 7 minutes. Okay, now here's what we're going to start out with. The Chicken Tetrazzini is a very creamy dish, and we have to start off with a roux. Now, a roux is the French way of thickening things, and it's very simple, but it takes a pretty good touch to it to get it right, and it takes patience too. So here's what we're going to do. We have this pan on medium, on low, and I'm going to break up this butter. This is a quarter cup of butter, and we're going to mix that up and let that melt. So I'm going to grab I don't know, I'm going to let that melt. Now, I'm going to let this margarine, or actually no, it's butter. I'm not used to cooking with butter. I usually cook with margarine, but if I'm doing this dish and I'm making it with heavy whipping cream, I'm going to make this with butter, no doubt. And since I have it, I might as well. I'm going to let this melt down a little bit. Whoa. Okay. Now we're going to mix in flour. This is a 1/4 cup of flour. And we're going to mix this in nice and thoroughly as this butter is melting. I'm going to turn it into this thick paste almost. But it's going to start boiling, it's going to start bubbling a bit. And what you're looking for is for this to get to a boiling, bubbling stage. Alright, now you see this is nice and smooth. Now, if you leave it alone for a second or two, it should start to bubble a little bit. If it doesn't, keep mixing. Okay, this is starting to bubble a little bit. Got that part. Wow. Not that much. Okay, I turned the heat up a little bit and it's starting to bubble. Quite a bit. So, and my pasta's almost ready actually. So I'm gonna give my pasta a stir. Got about a minute left on it. Alright, you're gonna want to take the pasta off the pot a little before it's done, because it's actually going to cook a little bit more when it's in the oven. This goes in the oven actually. I'm going to drain this. Okay. Now that we got a nice roux, nice and ready for us, we are going to remove it from the heat and stir. We're going to remove this from the heat and we're going to stir in the heavy cream. We need 1 cup's worth of heavy cream. And we need the broth too. It's chicken broth, but I'm actually using veggie broth because that's what I like to do. I like veggie broth so soon. Okay. Mix that up a little bit, stir that in. And let's get a cup of heavy cream. Alright, and we're going to mix this around. Alright, and let's bring this up here, and we're going to stir this around until it gets to boiling. And that's going to take a little bit of time, but you can turn your heat up a little bit on this and get that going. I also, into the roux mixture, I added salt and pepper to it. Salt and pepper.